So I have a riddle for you.
Oh, okay. Oh no, okay.
Okay, Gollum, give it to me.
So today I'm going to show you something happy, but it might make you cry.
Oh, God damn it.
It's scary, but it's also a cause for a celebration. And it's something that all of us in the LGBT plus community do at one point in our lives. Do you know what it is?
Is it coming out? If it's all of us, it's like it's going to be coming out.
Is this a coming out video?
Yes.
Awesome.
So have you ever seen anyone come out on TikTok?
Yes, I've seen a few.
And I look at it, and as a parent now watching it, and so I just see like how scared they are, and that makes me sad. But they're incredibly moving and incredibly touching. And I just want to hug them.
Did it inspire you to want to come out, like when you like watching these types of videos?
Yeah, definitely, because I actually came out twice, being like, how do I tell my parents? Not that like I thought my parents were gonna disown me or anything, but you know, it's scary. So I came out to them the first time, and they were like, cool. And then I came out a second time. They're like, yeah, duh, we knew.
Anyway, so there are tons and tons and tons of people coming out on TikTok.
I'm interested to see the ones on TikTok. I feel like they're gonna be a little more creative, perhaps. And I think you're right. I think I will cry. So let's see.
Let's watch kind of the first one that kind of started like the whole trend.
Okay.
And I know this is really hard to see, but it says surprise, I'm bi.
I thought so. I thought that was like kind of reading that a little.
Whatever it is. Want me to film?
Stop.
Sure.
Well, surprise,
Bi?
you are?
Racial?
You are?
Racial?
Biracial.
No, bisexual. Oh.
Is this a joke?
No.
Does it look like she's joking?
Oh, good for you.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, short end, keep the short end. This is good news.
Aw, Jingles, we love you no matter
Dad was a
what.
little slow to catch up, but he got there. He got there.
That's really sweet. The mom's super sweet.
They're so supportive.
And that's her brother.
I was gonna say that's her brother filming.
So that was Tatiana's coming out. What are your thoughts?
Oh, it seemed like it went really well.
How do you feel about like her using a cake to come out?
I think that's really cute. I think especially if you're nervous.
If you put it externally on a cake, then they could regard the cake and it takes the pressure off of you a little bit and they just look at the message. And the worst case scenario is that they get cake.
I was already living with my wife at the time, and I had gone shopping with my mom, and we went to lunch at Taco Bell. They thought we were roommates, right? And what are you gonna do if Laura meets someone and you have to move out? I'm like, oh, it'll be fine, I'll figure it out, blah, blah, blah. And she kept going and going and going. I said, Mom, we're together, I'm gay.
So Tatiana's video and videos like Tatiana's inspired a lot of other LGBT plus people on TikTok to come out. Let's take a look at another one.
Yay.
I'm just going to explain like kind of what you're seeing when you first see it.
Okay.
On the right, that is Jamie. Jamie is non-binary. That's Jamie, and Jamie's pronouns are he, they.
Okay.
But it's a duet. So on the left side of the video is Jamie on the right with Jamie's sister on the left reacting to the video.
Okay.
I wish I were a boy. Not all the time, just sometimes. I wish I could put on eyeliner and glitter and actually look good and have girls whisper about me in bookshops because I look like a character from their favorite book. And I wish I were a boy with dark fluffy hair that I love to mess up and shake and makes everyone stop and stare. And I wish I were a boy so I'd finally look cute in dresses and skirts and pants and suits. And I wish I were a boy with a deep rock and roll voice that makes people stop in their tracks, but I don't have that choice. And I wish that I did, because every song I write for myself never sounds right because it was meant to be sung by somebody else. I'm happy being me, but sometimes I wonder what I would be like as the opposite gender. would I finally be happy being me because I like being a girl? But
That was the most perfect, accurate, descriptive, educational song about a non-binary person I think I have ever seen. I am shooketh. I feel like I am seen.
There was production value in that.
You can tell that they're definitely an artist, and like he put so much like thought into it, and it was very much like their emotion as well.
Ukulele in the background and like kind of vocalizing all these things that you've been thinking. Like that's a super like creative way of coming out.
Although I am out and proud and everything, and I am, you know, not afraid to show who I am sometimes, it's nice to see other people like me and the, you know, trickle-down effect of all the categories under the rainbow, and I love that. That's exactly how I feel, you know? Some days I do want to be quote-unquote girl, more so aesthetically and mentally than anything else, but also there's days where I'm completely fine with being a guy. I feel like if somebody ever came up to me and asked me what is non-binary or like what do you mean, I'd show them that video.
So not every coming out is planned in advance, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens by accident. Let's take a look at Sir Carter's coming out story.
Okay.
My coming out story was not as cute as some of y'all's. Let me tell you. I see y'all making little rainbow cakes and I'm gay on it. Little 5-paragraph poems, just explaining it. Like, that's just cute. But you want to know how I came out? You want to know? I was at a restaurant with my parents and there was this fine, when I tell you this, fine ass boy at the table across. And I was just eating my food, like, looking back, like, you know, flirting with the eyes a little bit, giving y'all the little Debbie Ryan look. And I was just looking, and the last time I just a little glance, he got his ass up, walked over to the table, and I was like, oh, shit, what is he doing, bitch? And he comes over, he's like, hey, I thought you were cute, and I just kind of wanted to get your snap. And I was like, ooh. And I looked at my parents, I was like, I have a decision. I can either risk it all for the dick and come out, or have to turn this fine ass man away. And guess what I did? I got the snap, and I came out, period. And do you want to know what my parents said? They said, good for you. He was cute.
Aww.
King and queen right there.
Nice. Nice. That's my coming out kind of story. I like that story.
Yeah, that's it's chef's kiss reaction of like, he was cute, good for you.
What would you have done if you were in his shoes?
I'd give him the snap. When it boils down, my parents love their kids. I'll take a couple months of them being pissed and for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes it takes a little time, I think, sometimes for parents to like wrap their heads around it.
My relatives, again, very Catholic, very conservative. You know, those things are not really discussed. But we have figured out a way to come out elegantly where it's not an issue. And that is, if you talk about your partner, you just mention their pronouns. And that is usually enough for people to go, oh! And then if they're ready to discuss, then they will say, so how long did you know? And then that's when you know you can talk to them about it.
I remember when I first came out to one of my girlfriends, I was working this job at like a fashion show, and one of the male models, this like really tall, super hot Brazilian guy, like kept staring at me. I was like, there's no way he's looking at me, like whatever, in my dreams. Plot twist, within the next hour he's following me around like a puppy dog. Next thing you know, I have his number. It was because of that sort of like spark and just like natural desire that I had to tell my girlie about it. I went over to her house and I was like, I am so into this guy, and she was like, okay, so you're into him. And it was never like, so are you gay? You're gays. It was just, all right.
Coming out doesn't always need to be a big production or an accident.
Yes.
It can also just be like super, super simple, like the video I'm about to show you.
Oh, I'm gonna cry. I'm already choked.
Hey, Mom, there's something I want to tell you.
Yeah?
Mom,
What?
I'm trans.
Okay. Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what does that mean for us?
That was a great question. Okay, what does that mean for us?
I'm a boy.
Okay. All right. So, new name?
Oliver.
Oliver. Okay.
That's awesome.
We'll talk about this with Dad when we get home and figure out how to make that happen for you.
Thank you. Oh my God. was so nervous this entire car
Don't be
ride.
nervous. Honestly, I always wonder what like the parents think, like watching their kid like cry or like afraid to tell them.
That was like textbook.
I love that. I love how casual that was. The mom just being like, okay, cool. What's your name? Okay, we'll get the process going.
Like, she asked for the name, which was amazing.
And also the music behind the video was perfect. I felt like it was like a gospel, like, hallelujah.
But I'll tell you what, man, that woman nailed that reaction. Nailed it. Mad props.
There's probably, you know, a lot of people who were contemplating coming out. Maybe they're not quite ready to come out, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
And I wanted your reaction to this video.
Okay.
Hello.
Oh, hey. I brought you some snacks. Oh, you got a hanger in your head. All right. Yeah, I brought you some snacks. So here you go. Just wanted you to know that you take your time, and when you're ready, you got a whole group of people that supports you. All right. See you later.
Oh, that's so great.
That's really sweet. I love that.
Yes, that's so good. Why did that one make me cry? Although it was kind of like funny too.
I might copy that. I'm gonna copy that, Sage.
So what advice would you have for someone watching this, young or old, who's maybe considering coming out?
As much as you want to come out, it's gonna depend on your circumstance, who you're coming out to. You can sort of gauge based off of previous discussions who might be a good ally.
For anybody who's just confused in their self and their identity, that's okay. You don't have to know. If none of the labels feel right, that's okay. You don't have to pick one of them.
Even before I came out as trans, like, I'm too old. I can't do this. Cause you know, you look on like YouTube and all these like trans YouTubers are like, oh, I started transitioning when I was in high school, and I was like, I would have loved that, but I've heard stories of people in their 70s and 80s finally being like, hey, I'm trans and I'm transitioning. And I'm like, yes, it's never too late to like be authentic and live your truth.
Whether you find love or not is always going to be up in the stars, right? But ultimately, you look for who respects you. And that is who your community and family is.
Sometimes your family as a queer person isn't your immediate family. It is your closest friend. It is the queer person who works at the 7-Eleven that you frequent often, who has amazing nails and the coolest eyeliner you've ever seen. And before you know it, this video will be old, I will be ancient, and you'll be like, LOL, remember when George was trying to convince me to come out and now we're kikiing together at all the gay clubs?
But if there are people in your life that you know you'd be unsafe, that you know would cause you harm emotionally or physically, or be that, you don't owe them the explanation of coming out to them.
Come out to yourself. Learn to appreciate you, who you are. And once you can build that up, then maybe you'll be able to get to the point where you feel so good about who you are as a person that the other noise doesn't matter.
I thought, oh, I'm bi. You know, like that's a good label for me. And then I went to my first Pride, and one of the most fiercest women I have ever met in my life, she explained to me what queer was. It's an umbrella term that encapsulates the fluidity of like gender and sexuality. So when she explained what that was, I was like, oh my God, that's me. And like that Pride weekend, I came out to my close group of friends.
Don't feel pressure if you're not ready. And if you are ready, then know that there's a huge community here that will love you endlessly.
Don't let any person on this planet try to dim your shine or tell you that you aren't valid or you don't get to exist, because baby, you are here and you are queer.
And on that note, I have like kind of a scripted little moment where we can tell our viewers about the Trevor Project.
Great. If you're feeling sad or alone, I'm gonna cry. Wait, I'll do it. If you're feeling sad or alone, there are people who would love to talk to you.
Give someone at the Trevor Project a call.
Or if you have a little bit of anxiety with phone calls, visit their website.
Or you can even text them.
They are available 24/7.
The Trevor Project has some awesome coming out resources online. I encourage you to check them out.
Remember, you are loved. And coming out or not, you do you.
Thanks for watching this episode of React.
Let us know what you would like us to react to next in the comment.
If you like this episode, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe.
Bye.
Bye, you guys. Stay queer.